Cisco Networking. We've got a special guest today. We've got Engineer Tinashe Randeni, who's based in South Africa. He trained Cisco CCNA with us. He also trained Cisco CCNP with us. He is an experienced engineer. Yeah, so we've asked him to share his journey with us. You know, how he got into Cisco networking, how he got into network engineering, and how you know, Cisco certifications have helped him in his journey. Probably you can share a bit of history about when we met and how he trained with us, and how he certified, and so on and so forth. So without wasting too much time, I'll hand over to Tinashe. Tinashe, it's all yours, mate.
All right. I hope the guys can see me. Hello, everyone.
We can see you and we can hear you loud and clear, Tinashe.
Awesome. So my name is Tinashe. Tinashe Randeni, like Mr. F has said. I did my CCNA and CCNP courses with Mr. F's Fantech Academy, and you know, I'm like Mr. F. You know, I'm someone who likes to give advice to young professionals, and one of the I get a lot of young people coming into sending me messages via WhatsApp. Like I've worked with a lot of young guys that I worked with as interns, and they will be asking me, what certification do I want to, should I do, So I ask people any of these two questions. First of all, where does your passion lie? And also, where do you see the technology trend going? And maybe the third one will be, what do you want to do? IT usually these days, we now talk of software and infrastructure. When I say software, we talk about your developers, your programmers, your web dev people, people who work with code mostly. And when I say infrastructure, we talk about that's us now, Mr. AF and all these other guys, Ivo, I'm sure you know him, networking, servers, we do system administration. You need to be an all-rounder, basically. You need to know a bit of Microsoft systems, Linux. So that's us, the infrastructure guys. So, and if someone says, okay, I want infrastructure, I always tell people, guys, do at least a CCNA. Why CCNA? You'll find that when people or when companies are advertising job opportunities, they might say, this job, maybe they don't have Cisco equipment, maybe they've got HP switches or Huawei. But if you've got a CCNA certification like or CCNA routing and switching, they will definitely call you up for an interview, because Cisco, Mr. F can testify to this, Cisco was the first company to manufacture or develop a router and a switch. So Cisco leads the industry and the rest of the industry follows, If you ask people who have worked with Huawei switches or HP switches, they'll tell you that, look, once you know a Cisco iOS interface, command line interface, then it's easy. Just a few commands that are different, but the structure is exactly the same. I've worked with HP devices myself. So actually, where I work with HP switches, but I've trained with Cisco switches, and I don't have a problem. I have never caught anyone. I just downloaded a book of HP basic commands, and most of the commands are actually the same. So that's number one, the greatest advantage for doing Cisco sets. And then the other one, like I said, you can get a job whereby they will list to say, we want someone who knows MCSE or CompTIA N+ or CompTIA A+ or Security+. If you've got a CCNA security, trust me, I'm in a meeting. So if you've got a CCNA security, you find that a recruiter will consider you for that job, bro, because professionals in the industry, they know very well that Cisco certifications, they go down with these topics, especially IP addressing. What's this other one? TCP/IP and subnetting. And believe you me, these are the most fundamental topics when it comes to networking. Everything will come, VPNs, routing protocols, but everything centers around those three topics. Those are your fundamentals, your basics, So it helps a lot to do Cisco certifications because they drill you down into these things. I've been to several interviews whereby they will tell you that it's a technical interview, and you'll be thinking, okay, they'll be asking, these complicated routing protocols like BGP. They will be asking you subnetting questions because they know that once someone knows subnetting and IP addressing, if you understand those things, you can work on any equipment. That's my experience with Cisco certifications. Then another thing that I want to encourage you guys is to follow Mr. F's training channels. I'm working with him to establish YouTube and LinkedIn podcasts. So why I say this is because I've worked with Mr. F since when Mr. F, 2014, I think, when I wanted to relocate to SA. And he's someone who showed me that, look, if you want something, and you really put your mind and focus to it, you can achieve anything. And so he's someone who's passionate about helping and motivating young professionals in the IT space. And you guys, you've made the right choice to, engage with him to mentor you and train you in your Cisco certifications. Then last but not least, as a piece of advice, I would like to advise you that, look, the IT space is a very challenging, it's a very challenging profession. You will find yourself sleeping, especially if you choose the infrastructure route, you will find yourself, some nights not going to sleep. Myself, I've slept at data centers maybe 10 times or so, Why I'm saying that is I'm just trying to portray that, look, it's a very busy profession, and you will be tempted to have some excuses to say, look, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to sit for this certification. But look, going through these experiences, because you'll be given tickets or support tickets of issues that you don't know how to solve, things that you've never come across. But then it's also an opportunity for you to learn. Look, there are a lot of tools on the internet, talk of there are people who post podcasts on YouTube about any challenge that you can think of, especially in our IT space. So look, in the busy of things, in the busy schedule of your work life, there are a lot of platforms to learn. Myself, what I can say for me is, look, I'm a very busy person, but then I've got quiet time, what I call quiet time. This is where I don't have a lot of support tickets. Maybe it could be an hour or two. So I tend to open YouTube channels of people that I know who train or who explain certain technologies like your Cisco, your Ubiquiti, your Linux, your firewalls, like Network Chuck. Remember Mr. Chuck, we're talking about that guy, Network Chuck. So I tend to listen to those people during that time. I also have got a Udemy account, and I've bought certain courses. Like I think I've got some Linux courses that I bought. I've got Microsoft Azure. I've got AWS courses that I bought there. So during that time, that's when I tend to listen to those video tutorials. Then obviously you are going to go home. If you've got a family, you've got kids, you've got your spouse issues, you need to give them time, but then let the people at home know that, look, you need maybe an hour or two of your quiet time where you can work on your studies. Maybe you go through your study material, you do your labs on simulation packages like Packet Tracer, JNS3. Maybe you go through your exam questions or flashcards. So basically, that's how you get to achieve your certification study goals. Look, so what I'm trying to say is utilize the little time that you have at work and the little time that you have at home. All it takes is discipline. Myself, this is what I've seen. I've got about what, maybe 15 years in the industry. Yeah, maybe getting to 16, and all this that I'm saying, it's something that I've experienced. It's not something that I'm just thinking out of my mind. It's something that I've experienced. So I'm talking of something that I know. And once again, I want to welcome you guys, and I want to wish you all the best. Like I said, you've made the right decision to engage with Mr. F to help you achieve your Cisco certifications. And I would like to encourage you to, go further. I know a lot of people will target to say, if I do CCNP, that's the end of it. Dream further, do CCIE. Also look at other certifications. These days we've got cloud technologies coming in, Microsoft Azure Cloud. We've got what? Amazon AWS. We've got Google Cloud Platform, and a lot of other players are coming in. We've got automation. We've got AI. Just get yourself acquainted to these things. Don't say, look, I've done a CCNA security or CCNA routing and switching, and that's the end of it. I mean, get yourself out there, but be focused, one thing at a time. You'll get there. Mr. F, I think that's all I have for these young guys.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Engineer Tinashe. Before I let you go, I just want to ask, Blessing, Gilbert, Tanaskwa, do you guys have any questions that you'd like to directly ask Engineer Tinashe there? He's got a wealth of experience, I tell you, so maybe he can actually, give you guys guidance or help you with any information that you may want to ask about. If you've got any questions, please feel free, just introduce yourself and ask before we hand over to Engineer Ivor to carry on from where he left last time.
Yes, Blessing here.
Blessing.
I'm based in Nelspruit, but the thing is, it's a very small town, and there's not much in terms of IT infrastructure and all. But I want to ask, in terms of getting to get connected, to know people in the industry, what would you advise? Because here it's a small community, and it's really difficult to really get into IT per se.
Is it? What are you doing at the moment, if I can ask?
I'm an IT administrator for an academic institution.
Okay, so what, like one of those colleges?
Yes.
Interesting. When I came to SA, I also studied at a college, but I was lecturing. Look, my advice is that you you attend, I don't know if you have got a LinkedIn account, there are people who post webinars. Just sign up for those webinars and attend. Some of them will be online, some of them they can invite you to say, can you come to our premises? And also sign up for, I think AWS is also doing, AWS and Microsoft Azure. They are doing a lot of webinars whereby they showcase their cloud technologies. Sign up for those things because myself, I do sign up, so you can get to meet people who are in the same space. Then, if you are looking for a job opportunity or for a job move, there are people that you can ask if they need someone. I once got an interview through that. I met someone at an IT conference in Centron, and I met someone who was who wanted people who know Linux and all those open source systems, and also, I mean, just send your email on the chat. I get a lot of recruiters, sending me job opportunities. So some of them I'm no longer interested because they don't meet. I know what I want, and but they could be good for you, So I can just pass that job opportunity along. Because some recruiters will say, look, if you don't want, please tell me someone who you think can be a good fit for this job, So this thing, actually, this platform we have with Mr. F, it's actually, you've just done what I described, earlier on. You've met someone like me, we are already contacts now. I can help you with some of the job opportunities that come along my way, but then I'd see like, this is not for me. I can pass to you, So yeah, networking. Don't be shy to express yourself and join some of these platforms where people are discussing new technologies.
Okay. No, thank you so much for the advice. I'll certainly send my email address on the link.
All right. Cool.
Wonderful. That's a very good question. Thanks, Blessing. And very good advice there from Tinashe to just sign up for the webinars, be they live webinars, online webinars. Just interact as much as possible. And Blessing, I've actually shared Tinashe's contact details with you so that you just stay in touch with him. Tinashe will also send you Blessing's contact details. Blessing is a good man. He's very much interested. He's very engaging. He shared a wonderful testimony, and he's got no doubt that you go far with this technology. So there you go. Blessing, you've got a big brother and mentor there. He's already traveled the journey that you are traveling, so he can guide you there and help you. And you guys are in the same country as well. Right, fantastic.
Thank you, Mr. F.
You're welcome. Gilbert, can I ask anything before we let Engineer Ivo carry on? There's also TPK. I'm not sure who TPK is there. Welcome on board as well. Any other questions or comments or whatever before we hand it over to Engineer Ivo?
Hello,
right.
Hi,
Hi, Gilbert. How are you?
Okay, mine is not a question, but just here to get acquainted with CCNA. Based in Zimbabwe. Currently, I'm working with Liquid Intelligent Technologies. So I need to get myself acquainted with the networking field. I studied computer science with Africa University. So with the company that I'm working on, it's more of a networking company. So I realized that I need to get myself more acquainted with the networking field.
Is it? Okay.
Wonderful.
Which department are you, Gilbert?
I'm in customer service technical support.
So you handle what? First line? customer issues. Yes. So what you need to do there, most companies I know, they just that with customer care. I mean, they tend to look at your tickets and what time you are taking to resolve them. But look, whenever you get a free chance, or if you know someone who is in the maybe core network, you can just ask them to say, look, maybe on a given date, can I just come and see how you guys work? How look, you are within the company, you are within the confines of the company. It's allowed to say, look, I'm in customer services. One day I aspire to be at maybe a network admin or a network engineer. I just want to come and see what you guys do. Then if you've got free time, maybe you can ask one of your seniors to say, look, maybe can you mentor me? Can you just show me? It doesn't have to be a lot. Most companies are now strict about security these days. There are areas whereby maybe you might not be allowed to go, or systems that you might not be allowed to log into. So, but look, it doesn't hurt. You find someone you can ask, and I'm sure they'll give you an opportunity. They will give you an opportunity, to experience how things go. But yeah, first of all, it has to be initiative of yourself, whereby you get one or two technical certifications. Like, for example, you've signed up for CCNA with Mr. F. That's already a good start. So yeah, kudos to you for that.
Right,
definitely.
fantastic. Tinashe, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. You asked a very interesting question about automation, AI, and so on and so forth. Can you please repeat that question? Because we're chatting with Tinashe about that a little bit, and I want Tinashe and maybe Engineer Daniel as well to listen carefully to that question, and then give us their take on what they think about that question. Tinashe, can you please, do you remember that question you asked about artificial intelligence and automation?
Yes, I do, Mr. Kumile.
Yeah, please repeat that question, because I want to get input from Engineer Tinashe and also from Engineer Daniel.
Okay. Good day to everyone. My name is Tinashe. I am an aspiring student who wants to be a network engineer. So earlier on this week, I had asked about artificial intelligence, looking into it. So I had asked Mr. Ivo or Mr. Nyasha Chando about it.
Sorry, Tinashe, can please put on camera there, switch on the camera so that you can see your face there as you ask the question.
All right. Can everyone see me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I had asked about AI, because this is where the world is going. So earlier on, I'd been listening to podcasts and wanted to know that since there is like an automation program in the syllabus for the CCNA, for the new CCNA 301 syllabus, I wanted to confirm if that helps us with where the world is going. The trend, the new trend is people are now being replaced with these AI systems.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, thanks for your question. That's a very good question. We need to question some of these things, before we make, some of these big decisions. So my response to you there, Tinashe, is, like I was telling Mr. F, that, AI is there, and, these AI models, they're usually specialized. They are usually specialized to say maybe maybe this one is a language model, this one is for data analysis, this one is for maybe medical diagnostics, you know. But then there's no way an AI technology will totally replace the human element in the, you know, in the framework of solving a solution. There's always a human element. Because AI cannot tell itself, cannot present itself with a problem. It's you, the human person, who tells the AI to say, I've got this problem. You just need to know how to present it so that the AI tool can solve it for you effectively. So yeah, it might replace maybe some people, but look, there's always a human element there. And in terms of our field, which is networking, AI and automation, you as the person, in order for you to solve a problem, say maybe you're using an AI tool like ChatGPT, there's no way ChatGPT is going to be able to upload maybe a config file into a router. But you as a network engineer, in order for you to ask ChatGPT to say, how do I configure 1, 2, 3? Yeah, it's a language model, and it does web crawling. It knows where to look for the information that you are looking for. But it's you who are going to copy that, those Cisco configs that it gives you, put them in a config file, then you upload to the device that you want to configure. You see? So rather than you feeling threatened by AI that is going to replace you, I think leveraging AI to say, how can it help me perform better, you know? So that I think that's the frame of mind we need to have when it comes to these upcoming technologies like AI and automation. I don't know if I your response there. Yes, thank you. Yes. Thanks, Daniel.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, engineers Tinashe and engineer Daniel. Tanasco, does that make a bit of sense there?
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you see. There's a lot of input that's still needed from the engineer despite us having that automation ability and AI, but there's also still a lot of input needed. So yeah, don't worry, you're still going to be very much needed, and that's what the the industry needs you. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, guys, before we call the rep? Unfortunately, Engineer Ivo is having a big problem connecting. It's been booted out, so we'll have to you wanted to carry on with his presentation on packet tracer, so I think you'll have to pick that up next week when he's got more stable internet. Are there any other questions there that anyone else may want to come in with before we call it a wrap today? Any other specific questions that may want to ask Engineer Daniel or Engineer Tinashe? But what I liked about Tinashe's presentation is that he sort of like zoned in on the importance of Cisco networking, because we find that when it comes to teaching the network fundamentals, no one beats Cisco, and once you get that foundation, it doesn't matter what other vendors you get to work with, whether it's Huawei or HP or Aruba, but once you've got that solid foundation, I think Nikai also mentioned it last week as well, then you are in a good position to then kick on and understand, and resolve issues. And also when it comes to the real work, you get various scenarios, you get various scenarios, different types of problems, but guess what, somebody has put something out there on the internet. Somebody has put something out there on the internet, and you can always get help, from internet. There's a documentation, there's a blog, there's a YouTube video on how to do things. But as long as you are understanding the basics, IP addressing, protocols at work, and so on and so forth, then you will not get lost. So, and I like what Tinashe shared about, going on these webinars. You see, when I did my CCNA, the one thing that I said to myself is that I'm going to try and attend any conference. Those days webinars were not that popular, but any conference to do with ICT, I'll attend. I actually got a job at one of the conferences that I attended at the Embo Towers. There's an annual IT conference that used to happen there. Got a job as a trainer at Trust Academy. They were actually looking for somebody to train. So guys, be somebody who engages. The mentorship groups that we created, don't ignore them. Go through those charts, see what people are talking about. There's a gentleman, Tinashe, who actually made a presentation about network automation. He even put up a PDF file. So people don't look into these things. Look into it. Read it. What is this about? Have an inquisitive mind. And these rock my profile, the LinkedIn thing that we did there. Look at it. Look at your LinkedIn profile. Tweak it. Try and follow that stuff and see if it works for you. There's a lady who was working at an NHS trust. She tweaked that and she's being flooded. The emails are being flooded every week. And she's saying that I'm not looking for a job, Mr. F, but I tried that out and it works. So don't just let information flow past you. Yeah, try and see what takeaways you can take from the information that is flowing and apply it and see if it makes a difference or not. So be somebody who's very proactive in that regard, and you see that you go far. I actually learn a lot as well from you guys. When I'm mentoring people, I learn a lot, because I just come across so many fantastic young people and everybody's got something to share. Everybody's got something to share. So you pick up a lot of interesting things from them. So yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So, Gilbert, do you have anything to say, a comment or any passing word there before we close and before we shut down?
No questions from my side. I think I'm satisfied for today.
Fantastic. Well, Gilbert, you're the one who's at Liquid, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. We've trained so many guys from Liquid there. Got so many good friends there. Munyama Oni, a whole lot of guys that we trained there. Fantastic. So, guys, thank you so much for attending. Sorry, today is a short one, but we'll make it up next week when Engineer Ivo will be on board. So have yourself a fantastic weekend, and let's stay engaged. Let's keep working. Try and make sure that every day you get a takeaway from each day. Eh? You just let a day go pass through you. I like what Tinashe said when he said, during even his downtime, he's looking at podcasts, he's looking at YouTube videos, he's following certain mentors. That's important because every day you're picking up something, and you're actually gaining in your knowledge and in your experience. Fantastic. So thanks very much, guys, for coming on board. Have a great week. See you next week. Bye-bye.